Welcome to another edition of the Unsexy Businessmen podcast, where we talk about everything entrepreneurship and unsexy businesses. My name is Alex Skinner. As always, I am joined by my brother, Aaron Skinner. And today we're doing a little bit of an interesting one, which is overcoming ego traps in your small business. Aaron, have you ever worked with anyone where ego was an issue? Excluding me.
Never. I think ego can be productive. I don't think as much ego as it is. Maybe it is ego. I was just saying not as much ego as it is false. What's that word? False, not hope. God, I'm so bad with words. False confidence. No, false confidence, where they think they're really good at something and they can do something really good, and they continually prove that not to be the case, and don't ever admit. And that's ego, right? That's, hey,
Yeah.
I can do this, and then they don't know what I'm doing. And so maybe I
100%.
just describe someone with ego. So yeah, and that's always a bummer. Yes, I have worked with someone where, I wanted to do certain things to help the business expand. They did not want to do those things, and that's always frustrating. So it can be tough, especially if it's a business partner. It can be very hard, where you're just butting heads on business strategy, and then that's where problems really start to occur in your business.
Yeah, I've seen it a ton. Oftentimes it's probably, I definitely know I am very ego driven. At times, the way that I view ego is like more emotional responses to stuff as opposed to practical responses to stuff. But I also understand that humans are essentially emotional, so they're going to have emotional responses at given times. The thing that I dislike the most when it comes to, I'm going to try my hardest not to say the word ego over and over. I remember a podcast a long time ago about uh, narcissism, and we just said the word narcissistic like 100 times, and like, I hate that word.
Well, then you're like, okay,
and I was like, do I even know what that word means?
Well, no. And then you're like, hey guys, we're not going to say narcissism anymore, and narcissist. We're just going to call it the N word, and so we'll just refer to this as the N word
and see how that went. It's one of our best podcasts ever. A lot of hate, but it did get a lot of listens. Oh my gosh. But like where I see it a lot of times is exactly what Aaron was describing, where it's people who think they know what they're doing, but they don't really. I think I have a good, like, it's one of those things where I try to be, we've talked about this before, I try to be as pragmatic as possible when it comes to me and my abilities. Like, I am never going to make it seem like I can do something that I can't. So if it is something that we need to do, like, I don't know how to do this, but I will figure it out. And I do have that belief in myself to be able to figure stuff out that needs to be done business wise. But it's a lot of like, essentially when people start seeing wins, it's just like, oh, so what I am doing is definitely working. So that means I'm really good at what I'm doing. Just like, a win, how do I use this example? A win is relative. What I mean by that is a win to you might not be a win to somebody else. So for example, let's say, I don't know, you close a deal that's worth $5,000 and nobody pays the $5,000. It was not a win. And to some people, even if they do pay the $5,000, it might not be a win. It might be 10,000, it might be 15,000, it might be 20,000. It depends on the industry you're in and the business that you are running. But what happens is somebody sees a small piece of success that they've never accomplished on their own before, and they're like, I do know what I'm doing. It doesn't necessarily, and I'm definitely guilty of this at times. They're like, it doesn't necessarily mean that you are bulletproof and that nothing needs to be changed or improved. So that's where I see it, is like people start like seeing these little wins, and then it just becomes like the stone cut without hands that just keeps rolling and becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. The snowball effect.
Because the ego gets bigger and bigger and bigger because of that.
Right. And then what ends up happening is like, all right, well, I'll just do this thing by myself. I'll do this thing by myself, or I'll do that thing by myself. And what happens then is like you don't have processes documented. You don't have other people who know how to do the things that you are good at doing. So if you're gone, things can suck. You hire new people who don't have documents to follow through. Like you're just setting yourself up when like you think like you have full control over this thing of failure.
Yes. Yes. And if we're just talking about like ego, how it could be detrimental to a small business, like even like with employees, if you have an employee with an ego, they're like uncoachable. Like I had a dude that was like this, like, hey, you got to do it this way. It's like, no, this way's better. I'm like, hey man, the reason we do it this way is because of, XYZ. He's like, yeah, but, and he's always like giving pushback, and I'm all for trying
Collaboration.
new things. And collaboration, but like new ideas. Like I love some of the best ideas came from employees. And so we always like cultured that or nurtured that, where it's like, yeah, give us, if you have a better way of doing something, tell us. But if we tell you, yeah, we tried doing that and this is why it didn't work, this is why we do it this way, and you're still like, nah, I'm still gonna do it. Like it's just with employees and ego, oh man, it's you almost gotta cut bait until they can let go of that ego or whatever. Because I'll just, sometimes the employees think you're an idiot and you don't know what you're doing, and it can be really hard to get that through their brain that there's a reason that we do it this way. And if there wasn't a reason, I would love to try your idea. But if I'm telling you this is why we're not doing it because we already tried it, then you're like, oh, okay. Oh, and then I don't know. It's
right. And I feel then maybe it wasn't necessarily the case with this person that you're just describing, or maybe it was, but essentially what that becomes is like they're defensive because they probably think that you don't think that their idea is good. Or it's just like anyone taking criticism as a personal attack. That is 100% the thing that I run into the most. I texted Aaron about this yesterday, where there's this book called The Speed of Trust by Covey.
Stephen R.
One of the Coveys. And essentially, I'm not perfect. So like, I want to make sure that I say that loud. Like I try to operate as much by that book as possible, because like essentially the thesis is your business moves faster the more everyone trusts one another and has each other's back. And so one of the ways that there is a lack of trust is people take criticism and feedback as you attacking them. And it becomes a personal thing. People start to become defensive about whatever it is, when in reality, we need to detach ourselves from our ideas and who we are as a person.
And our ego.
Yeah. And so if somebody feels like everything I do whenever it's business related is never personal, but I also know that I'm probably not delivering it in the proper way. But the reason that I do it that way, and maybe it just also means I need to build trust with a lot of like different business partners that I've had, or even like people that I've worked with in the past, where it's just, no, this is so we can move faster. Because otherwise I have to do the whole like, so,
maybe
like the whatchamacallit sandwich is like my least favorite. The criticism sandwich is like one of my least favorite things ever. You say a nice thing, then you say the critical thing, then you say another nice thing. I'm like, great. So I have to have literally, I want to talk to you about one thing, and it's going to be 3 times the length of conversation, because I hate, like, this makes me sound like such an asshole, but it's just like, because you are soft. Like at the end of the day, it's like, could you caress my ego as much as possible? Like, I don't think you want to be in this business if you can't take feedback in all of life. Like, and I have to like take that feedback from people as well.
And I think it's one of those things where you have to know when you need to do that and when you need to do the what is it? You said the feedback sandwich, where it's like, probably with employees, you probably need to do a little bit of the feedback sandwich, but with like business partners, like a perfect example, we had a conversation yesterday. I'm way off. On Monday, where you were going off about AI. And one of the things was you didn't say this specifically, but I didn't take it personally, but it was one of those things that made me realize that I was relying too much on using AI. And it would have been, and you probably weren't even this, and it's funny because as you say things to people, they take it in a different way. And I wasn't offended at all. I was just like, it was more of a like, yeah. And then we talked about it later. So, you already know what my feelings are. I was like, yeah, I do use that too much. I do rely on it too much to do these certain functions. I should do it a different way or whatever. The reason I'm bringing this up is because, like, as business partners, you have to kind of be a little more direct with them, right? And so if you're a business owner, you need to be able to take that criticism. Now, if Alex said,
You dumbass.
you're a piece of shit, stop being a lazy asshole and fucking stop using AI all the time to get time or whatever, that would be bad. But like the way he did it, and some people might love AI so much that it would be an offensive topic to bring up that AI isn't perfect. And I always try and see where the people are coming from. And then I don't ever try to get super defensive. I'm more of just like, all right, that's where he's coming from. What truth is it in there, and how can I improve on that truth? Especially with all the conversations you and I had, I don't think we've ever, even when you're getting mad about something, I'm never like, Alex is mad at me. Like, all right, what is he saying? What can be done better? Or just conversations I've had with, my wife or whoever it is. Like, just, all right, what are they saying? How can I do better? How can I communicate better? Or what can be changed to fix this issue that is coming up?
Right. And I think in the example that you're giving right there, and this is like one of my favorite things that I ever learned from one of my bosses at my old job was the we, not me. Because in that conversation we were having, I never said you guys.
No,
you guys,
once.
like it was like
Not
we
once.
need to stop using AI in this way because I'm also guilty of it.
But it's funny because even though you were saying it as we, some people might take it as like a personal attack, right? And so, but again, it's not a personal attack. It's like, am I using it too much? And we found out that some of the stuff that we were using AI for wasn't working, or it wasn't working as good as it should.
We hope.
And yes. And so it's like, okay, yeah, you're right. And I'm glad that got pointed out. And that could be pointed out by a business partner. And again, like I said, this could be pointed out by an employee. And if you're too much of like an egomaniac where you're like, I'm the boss, this is how we do it, and I don't care what you say, that's just God, that work environment sucks. I worked in a work environment like that, and it was horrible I hated it so much, I started a business cleaning toilets instead of working there. So it's just one of those things where you have to have that environment where it doesn't have to be ego free. That's like, I think that's impossible, but you need to have that environment of being able to see why that person's telling you something. And if there's any validity in it at all, and then at least extracting those pieces of validity. You might not completely agree with everything that they're saying, and I definitely didn't with a lot of the bosses that I had. But if there were some snippets of truth, like, yeah, you know what, I should be doing this better or in a different way and whatever. And I don't know. It is really hard.
Well, and like something that you were talking about earlier too, like when you're hiring people, looking for people who don't have that. And this doesn't mean necessarily, I don't want people to take away from this, like, don't hire people who have egos, but like, you need to hire, I like hiring people who like have confidence and have ideas. And so like, if you have an ego and you're just hiring people who are like you, who will never challenge you, like you just want like loyalty, you're creating a very, very toxic work culture. Like you're just building something where it's like, okay, you're loyal to me, but they could be really crappy at their job. Like loyalty matters way less to me than the ability to actually do things, and not just do things, but to come up with new ideas and ways to do things. Like giving shout outs to like our team at Keystone. Like, thank God every single one of them is looking for new ways of doing things, looking for faster, looking for new tools, looking for new processes, improving the processes that we currently have. I'm just like, that's awesome, because guess what? Now it's not just one set of eyes on it. Now we have 4 sets of eyes, or like whatever the number is, of people who are looking at these things. And so if you are in your head where you're just trying to get people over and over and over that are beholden to you, you're never going to grow. Because especially, I think in all things, like, don't get me wrong, I think you still clean a toilet relatively the same. But like that example Aaron used forever ago with window cleaning, he started using a different technology for window cleaning. And that led them to be able to like, great, like we don't have to get more insurance because we're getting up on these things. Like we're saving money this way. Like there are always going to be new ways of doing things. And if you are just moving forward, like we're just going to keep doing things the same way because that's what's been working, you're going to die.
Yeah,
End
and
of
like,
rant.
well, also look at people that are surrounded by yes men, like celebrities, and I just think of like sports celebrities, movie celebrities, whoever it is. They end up being horrible people because all they hear is what they want to hear constantly, and
Chevy
they live in
Chase.
this. Yes, they live in this vacuum. I gotta watch that documentary.
I do too. It sounds like it just sounds like he's actually who we all thought he was.
Yeah, exactly. So like if and then like you were saying, then there's no innovation, because if it's you are the only one with the good ideas, you are missing out on tons of great ideas because you're not going to see every perfect idea that's out there. But if, again, Keystone, you have a bunch of sets of eyes that are looking at stuff, and then they can present it to us and say, hey, what if we tried this, and this is why we should try it, and it's going to streamline this process and blah blah. Like, they're like, yeah, let's do it. Or it's like, yeah, I see what you're saying. This is why I want some pushback on that, or why I don't want to do this. That's how you grow as business.
Yeah. And I think the big cost of ego is just growth. Like it just slows it way down. Like
Here,
I think all of us are in the business of trying to build things as big as we can build them. So why not build those things faster, which is the reason we did Unsexy Businessmen, where it's like, hey, here are all the mistakes that we made. Get over yourself and don't make these mistakes again, and grow faster.
But there's that ego that's like, I could figure this out.
Exactly.
Whatever. And then they're going to make the exact same mistakes and thousands of dollars and tons of hours. I would say one of the biggest flaws with entrepreneurs is the ego not letting them delegate stuff. And as soon as you can't delegate anything because everyone's stupid except for me, you can't, that it goes back to growing. Like, if you can't delegate certain tasks to people because you're like, I'm the only one who's good enough at doing this, you're never going to be able to grow because there's only so many hours that you have. So you need to be able to let go of that ego. And I don't know what it is about entrepreneurs. It's such a entrepreneurial thing where it's, nope, I have to do everything. I think it goes back. I think we talked about this in the hustle, or it was the grind mindset, or the grind is kind of bullshit. It's so you could say you're busy all the time instead of being able to delegate a lot of these smaller tasks or medium tasks or maybe big tasks to somebody else. So you can free up your time to do the big picture stuff. But I don't know what it is about a lot of entrepreneurs that just like to stay busy. And it was like the question we had on the last podcast, where he's just like, I'm so busy cleaning windows. I'm losing business. I don't know if I can hire somebody or not. I was like, there's ego in that. It's like, why wouldn't you think you could hire someone and train them to do more window cleanings? Like, it's just, they're not going to do it right, or whatever it is that was preventing him from hiring somebody to get more money. This, again, let go of that ego, hire people, let people do different tasks, and you can actually grow as a business.
And if you have team members, they don't get to grow either.
Yeah.
So there's that part to it. Like, if you want to be able to step away at some point, you need to do this. Like, I think this would be helpful too. Like, doing an ego self-audit. I think what you small business owners need to look at is like, what would break if you disappeared for 2 weeks? If there's a lot of stuff that would break, you have a massive, massive, massive problem. This is coming from someone who probably, like, this time a year ago, maybe a little bit longer, this time a year ago, wouldn't have been able to step away for 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
But now I am relinquishing and delegating way more things. And guess what? It's not breaking. Things are still going well. Our clients are still happy. Yes, market changes may impact things that are going on with some of our clients, but the work is still being good and we're still getting great results because I put trust in them. And then that's probably like, oh, Alex, you're so awesome because you could disappear for 2 weeks and like everything would be fine. No, it's I wish I would have learned that sooner.
Well, but
like, I wish I would have just stepped away earlier.
But the question I'd ask you with that is like that was a process, right? It wasn't just like, you're now in charge of this. All right, see you later. Like, it was, I mean, what was the process in doing that?
For me, it was just training people. I mean, I know that
Yes.
now we have standard operating procedures, but it's like, oh, giving more accountability on things to people. Like, all right, you're in charge of this specific thing for this client. You're in charge of this specific thing for this client. And more recently, it's been a lot of like, and now you're going to talk about these things to the client as well. You're going to like interact with them. And I remember the first, like, I would say like my scary client, the one scary client that we have. The very first time I let one of our employees like interact with them, guess how it went? Absolutely normal and fine. And then it's just like, oh, cool. And the task got done.
Yep.
Fantastic.
Yep.
But I
So
do
that's
like to empathize with people. I get the fear in being like, oh my gosh, like are my team members like going to be able to handle this? Like you hired them for a reason. I would hope you hired them because you trust them to do these types of things.
well, then it's also on you. Like you have to do the training. Like if you want people to be able to do things correctly, like you did, like if you just give someone the reins and then expect them to know what they're doing without any instruction or training, they're going to fail almost every time. But like with Keystone, you say, hey, this is how you do it. I'll walk you through the steps. You've been on these calls a bunch of times. You know how I talk. And now it's your turn to try it. I'll be there when you try it. I'll give you feedback, and then you'll realize it's not that big of a deal. And now you have someone that can take those calls. And so that's with anything. It's not just with a digital marketing company. That's any business that you own. You have to have the standard operating procedures in place so that you can train those people, so that you can take that off your plate and you can do other things. You can go on a fucking vacation and enjoy the success that you've had. But if you're not willing to relinquish some of those responsibilities, you're just going to be miserable all the time. And great, you're rich and miserable. Congratulations.
Yeah. And I would like going with exactly what you're saying is like, there's a lot of things that I knew I should have been doing these things. I just wasn't doing them. And, part of that was a time bandwidth thing. And then when I quit teaching, bandwidth opened up like crazy, obviously.
Mhm.
And I was like, oh, I should probably do this. And I should probably do this. And I should probably do this. And like things just start running more and more smoothly.
Mhm.
I was talking with an employee, with an employee yesterday. He's like, it kind of feels like in the last 4 months, 5 months, we've gone from, and this is like, it lines up like with right when I quit. It's like, we've gone from like this being like a really successful side hustle to like, we're a real company. It's
Mhm.
like, makes me sad, but also makes me happy because team members are noticing the difference where it's just like something as simple as like, I'm doing regular weekly one-on-ones, which create a feedback loop where people can tell me things that are working, things that aren't working, things that a client, like a thing that I missed that a client said that they want to take on and take control of. So that's one of the things that I would also recommend to people is like, in order to eliminate that ego, to use that E word again, is you need people to be talking to you constantly. And I didn't have that. And now that I do, things get better and better and better. And then what's nice with working with someone like Aaron and I was talking with a potential employee yesterday, and their question was, so like, if I have a good idea, how long before it can be implemented? Like how many levels of structure, like, does it have to go through? I was like, it has to go through me. And I trust you. I'll probably just say yes. So like, it doesn't even really have to go through me. If you need the credit card, here's the credit card. That happened with one of our employees yesterday too. Like, hey, can I get this? Can I get this thing? I was like, is it going to make you work better? She's like, yes. I'm like, great. I think it ends up being like $35 extra a month for the thing that she needed. I'm like,
Mhm.
that is a small price to pay for one, building trust with her, but two, making her work much more efficient. Who's ever going to stop that?
And confidence. Like now she has the confidence, like, oh, I had a good idea. I brought it to Alex. He like validated my good idea or trusted my good idea. Next time I have a good idea, I don't have to be, maybe, who knows how long she's been holding on to that for, right? Like, if you have that environment where people are comfortable to come up to you because you're not an egotistical psycho, then all these good ideas, and we've talked about this all throughout this entire podcast, these good ideas will be flowing to you and you can use them to make your business better. There's no reason to be an asshole boss. Like, be a good boss. Dude, when I worked at that call center, if you're talking about the layers, dude, it would have been even like the simplest of things, like, hey, we want to start doing this thing with the at the call center, and they get the winner gets a $50 gift card. It would take months and levels and levels and levels of approval if it ever got approved at all. And it was for it was like for morale for the call center. And they still like, $50. I don't know about that. So it's just, yeah. But in that example, it was, is it gonna boost morale? Is it gonna increase your productivity? Then yes. Yeah, you can do it. Also, how much does it cost? Oh, it's $20,000 a month. Yeah, let's circle back to that one. But I mean, if it's something reasonable, then it's fine. But you've built that confidence in that person where they have a good idea. They're not afraid to say it. That's so important.
Yeah, and obviously we're now primarily like talking about employees, and like yes, like there are different ways that you have to go about talking. When I talk to my employees, I talk significantly different to my employees than how I would talk to business partners, because with business partners, we all understand that we don't have time. Whereas with team members, and maybe they don't view it this way, that one-on-one or those team meetings are probably, in terms of like your business, are probably the most important things that you are doing in order to ensure not just good morale, but also that things are being executed to the highest level and making changes. Like, yeah, so it's the exact same thing, and making changes where there are inefficiencies. Because there's another like inefficiency that we discovered this week just from like asking simple questions where it's like, oh, we got to figure that one out. That's a huge problem that's costing us tens of thousands of dollars.
And in all honesty, it should be an entire podcast where we talk about this, because it's a huge topic and it's so important for building and scaling a business, like having that environment where you can do that. And there's ways that you can build that environment besides just, team meetings and stuff like that. But it's dude, it's just so important. It's so important.
All right. So is everyone committing to not having ego anymore? Great. Fantastic.
I never had an ego. What are you talking about? I have the least ego of anyone I know.
It was funny. I was like trying to like build this out through like open with this common belief. I'm practical, not egotistical, which I do. But like, there's like one of my least favorite things. And I think like, I'm just honest. Like, anyone who says I'm just being honest is an asshole. Like, I don't think I've ever heard a non-asshole ever utter that phrase. So whenever I hear someone say anything along that line of like, oh, I don't suck. I'm just this thing. It was like, oh,
keep it real, man.
The first half of that was actually accurate. Just get rid of the I'm not. Make it I'm.
It's the top 10.
All right, let's hop into this week's top 10.
All right, Alex,
I'll start getting top 10s for Aaron too.
Oh no, this is fine. This is great. I got a good one for you, Alex. So for Thanksgiving, I took my family out to Disneyland, and my kids love it. My wife loves it. I'm indifferent to it. It's fine. There are many things I don't like about it, but today's top 10 list, and listeners, if you've ever been to Disneyland, Disney World, or any amusement park, you can play along with this. What are the top 10 things people hate about Disneyland?
I feel like I'm going to do pretty well on this.
Yeah, you will. And so the rules are, Alex, you have obviously 10 guesses.
You have 5
If you can get at least 5, we're good. If you don't get 5, we are going to give a free thing.
A free course.
I know, words good. We're going to give the course away for free for the person that comments Alex sucks at guessing. All right, so here we go. Start with your first guess for top 10 things people hate about Disneyland.
I'm going to do this I'm going to do this Family Feud style for this first one. I'm going to say prices, cost.
Survey says that's number 2 most hated thing. That's
what I was going to ask after that, though. Does it only appear one time? Because my first thing was going to be cost of tickets and then cost of food.
Number 3, expensive food.
So just for anyone who watches the family, if you ever go on the Family Feud, you actually want to keep your answers general at first, because if it's like general enough, it's like, oh, you got to be a little bit more specific. You're just like, oh, okay, well, no, fine. Yeah, now I know. Yeah. Now I know I'm on the right track with this.
Yeah.
All right. All right. This is where it gets harder. No. Lines.
Number 1, long lines.
There's gonna be. What happened? And if I get all 10, the first person to comment Alex
Aaron?
sucks has to the first person
Aaron
that
sucks at
comments
topics.
has to give me the course for free. All right. This one I'm nervous about, so this actually might just throw it all away. Disney adults.
That is not on the list, Alex. That's actually probably like my number 2.
I feel like that's lines, though, what I'm about to say. Busyness, crowdedness.
Crowds, number 4. Alex is on a hot streak.
Man, I just haven't been to Disney in so long. I'm trying to remember all the things that I didn't like about it.
I
And
guess
this
this
can I
should be
ask
my
actually, if you can't, like, is this for, I think you said this is like all Disney. So like Disney World, Disneyland, like what people don't like about going to a Disney theme park.
I mean,
So it's
specifically,
not like
it is
specific.
this is specific to Disneyland. I was just saying people could play along and just think about the things they hate at anywhere, any theme park, because they're all pretty similar.
I'm nervous on this one too. Rides breaking down or being broken.
Ride closures, number 7, Alejandro. No free course.
Is there even? I got 4 more guesses, but I already got 5. No new budding entrepreneur is getting our course for free. Good. All right. So now I feel safe. I feel like I could just start guessing. I said Disney adults, so now I'm going to do the opposite of that, like annoying kids.
That is not
Okay.
on the list.
Fine. I'm fine with that. Now I'm glad I got those ones because now I'm struggling a little bit.
Those are the big. Those are like the big ones. But I mean, these are like one of them. Just like it's kind of. I don't want to give you, but you won't guess it.
So I'll say like God, I'm scared on this one. Hotel prices.
Hotel prices not on there.
Okay. Just going prices more on that one.
There's actually pretty good deals around Disneyland for hotels.
Oh, I was thinking more of like the actual like
the Disney. Yeah. Yes.
Man, I'm glad I got 5 already because now I'm just throwing stuff out there.
How many guesses do you have left?
Having like I don't think there's gonna be on there because you already had lines, but like lines for taking pictures with like Mickey Mouse.
I do hate that one, but it is not on there. That would, oh my gosh, man. Yeah, that would have been.
That was one of the things you were pissed about. The Disney, a 2 there, Disney adult jumping in front of the Mickey Mouse line.
Yes. Real bitch.
Oh, so that one wasn't on there, but I already got 5, so I don't care. I guess I'm going to go with like, this is a weird lack of water.
That is not on there, Alex. But let's go through the top 10.
I'm very curious.
You got the top 4. Okay, so number 1, long lines. Number 2, high ticket prices. Number 3, expensive food. Number 4, crowds. Number 5, heat, weather discomfort, which I guess.
That's what I was going to like. Yeah, like I was like that was the one between lack of like, so, okay. Anyway, I should have just said heat instead of lack of water.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Number 6, parking hassle. That's why you just walk to the park. Just get a hotel you can walk to. There's so many good deals around there.
Well, I never like one of 2 things because I always went with Aunt Eunice and she had like so we had a handicap sticker, so we're close, and the trams were easy to get on, so that's surprising to me.
I don't know. Well,
it's been a long time.
It's been a while. Number 7 you got was ride closures. Number 8, limited fast pass availability. That is one of mine. That's a giant pain in the ass. Fast passes sucks unless you pay for the one that's like an extra almost $500 a ticket, like per person. Like it's crazy. I don't know. Maybe corporate greed. Why is that not on here? Oh, I guess it is. There's one where I just like noise / overstimulation.
That sounds like crowds again to me.
Yeah, it's just crowds. And then number 10 is kind of tied with our everything's too expensive. Merchandise prices was number 10. Merchandise prices.
I should have gone for that one too. Like it's all good. I got 5. Doesn't matter. I'm happy. I just wanted to get the bare minimum on that one.
How do people wear those Mickey ears all day? Like, have you ever put those on your head? Like, it's immediate headache. Like, I have a giant head, so that's probably why. But my kids, tiny heads, they had their Mickey ears. And then, an hour in, they're like, my head hurts. I don't know how and it's usually the adults that have them on all day.
You know
Crazy.
how I feel about Disney just in general. I get it like when you have kids, but since I don't have kids who can go on the rides yet, I'm just like not going to be going there for a while. It's never been, I enjoyed it when I was a child. And then like now as an adult, I have other thing, I just follow the Bible, baby, it's time for me to put off childish things. But I guess, some people don't follow the Bible and keep going to Disney.
It is fun. It is fun for the kids.
I thought you were...
I love to see my kids happy. My wife loves going. I think, so I get why people go. I'm on the same boat with you. I would not go with my buddies to go to Disneyland.
Like, where did we go? We did like our senior trip. We went to Magic Mountain. Went to Magic Mountain.
We went to Waterworld.
That's a good. Sorry. Senior trip was like my friends and I's road trip.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Hit up St. George because someone's girlfriend was there. Cut through Vegas for like just a little bit, and then did some of the Southern California stuff around Long Beach, and then went up to Magic Mountain for the day.
Oh, that's awesome.
Wait, Magic Mountain. That's definitely not what it's called.
I know which one you're talking about.
It's the one that has Goliath.
Is it Six Flags? Is that Magic
Six
Mountain?
Flags. It's one of the Six Flags.
Okay.
Not Vallejo, Ventura. Anyways,
it's Santa Clara.
Switching to some business advice questions. Hey, unsexy businessmen. I started running Google ads for my junk removal. There are so many junk removal business earlier this year, and the phone is ringing more than ever. The problem is half the calls are price shoppers. Okay, yes. Or people with unrealistic expectations. Revenue is up, but my stress level is higher and my margins feel worse. Good. I'm glad your feelings are feeling that. I'm working more and enjoying it less. How do you fix marketing that works but seems to be attracting the wrong type of customer? I'm a little confused by this question. Revenue is up. My stress level is higher. It's because I'll tell you why. Stop looking at what you're spending in Google ads. Just stop. If money is up and like for the most part, you're seeing that you are making that money back, do not worry about it. Why? I bet junk removal can have repeat customers. So you have to look at it this way. Every single, especially if you have like a good automation process set up, every single customer that is calling could be a customer again. So it's really hard when someone's like, oh my gosh, this customer just cost $50 to get and we're only making $150. So like we're actually only making $100. I'm like, but if they call you again, or if you reach out to them via text, like, hey, do you have any other junk removal? And then you get $150. Now it was $50 for $300. And then if you reach out to them again, $450. So that's the big thing that I always run into with clients when it comes to like Google ads, like, oh my gosh, like our cost per lead is so bad. If you can have repeat customers, dude, it does not matter. What's more important is that you have a good automation process in setup so that you can get that repeat business from those leads coming through.
Yeah, my only question would be if your pricing's too high. Like, as he said, he's not landing a lot of these.
Half the calls are price shoppers or people with unrealistic expectations.
I would say every single call is a price shopper. Everyone, no
100%.
one's just gonna say, "Come pick this up," and they don't ask you how much it costs. So they're all price shoppers. So half of our price shoppers. What was the other half?
Half calls are price shoppers or people with unrealistic expectations, which makes me laugh because what I take away from that is the other half just buy from you. So STFU, get over it. Like if you're closing at 50%, dude,
that's awesome. Yeah,
that's really, really good. So I'm just like,
really
I think what you're seeing, dude, is like, and don't worry, you're not the first person that's done this. You're just seeing like, I just spent $5,000 on ads.
Yeah.
That's what you're nervous about.
But he's profitable. So you're winning. Good job, dude. Listen to Alex's advice.
Listener email. Employees are good, but no, I hate these ones. Alex and Aaron.
Thanks for writing in.
Alex and Aaron, I run a small landscaping property and property maintenance company. My crew shows up, does the work, and doesn't cause problems, but they don't really take initiative either. Every season feels the same mistakes, same reminders, same conversations. I feel like I'm managing adults like children. It's like the 50th time, or it's actually the second time, the adults like children, and it's exhausting. is this just how managing employees is like in trade businesses, or am I missing something in how I am leading or setting expectations? Yes.
This is how bad managing employees looks like. 1, 2, 3 SOPs. You have to have your standard operating procedures in place so that if they keep making the same mistakes, they don't work for you anymore. Like, that's all you have to do. There has to be it's like children. That is, if you don't give consequences for negative behavior, they're going to keep doing it over and over and over again. So there needs to be some sort of consequence for negative behavior and for good behavior. But if they're making the same mistakes over and over again, there has to be write-ups, whatever it is, like firing them. But if there's no actual consequence for doing the wrong thing, then that's going to just keep happening over and over again. So get your SOPs in place.
Yeah, I don't really have much to add to that. All I will say is it sounds like you just need to get new people. Like, but to Aaron's point, it's you have to have like, this is what doing well is. You're not hitting that. Now we're letting you go because you haven't hit that.
It's called accountability. You need to make sure they are accountable for what they're doing. Thanks for writing in.
That's because I'm pretty sure it's like the second one that's been kind of like that. And like, don't get me wrong, I get it. I get where like it's coming from, but I'm also coming from a place where like the employees that I've had and worked with have like all been awesome, and so I'm just like, maybe I've just hired well, so I can be there. But like, if people don't know what is expected of them, what, and then if they do, and you're not like following through on them missing those expectations, that's on you. It's the fool me once thing.
I have the sympathy for this because I made the same mistake when I first started my business, but this is what I learned, and then I changed it, is to have your standard operating procedures. There are, they know what the expectations are, and they know what happens if they don't hit those expectations. If you don't ever change that, nothing's going to change. Like Mark Twain said, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result is insanity. Oh, wait, no, that was Gandhi. Wait, no, that was Jesus. Oh, wait, no one ever actually said that. I love it. Like Einstein, quote from Einstein was like debunked. He never actually said that. So I just make up different historical figures that said it now.
Yeah, I mean, isn't that what people have been doing for years? It's just attributing things like, you know how everyone respects this person? Yeah, they said it. So now you have to do it.
As Abraham Lincoln said, we got to take Maduro out of Venezuela.
Oh, that's just being topical twice today. Well, everyone, thanks for listening. You can submit your questions to unsexybusinessmen@gmail.com. Thank you for listening to the Unsexy Businessmen. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a review. Now go get to work.